ABF Kronoberg presents Vital Knowledge and Early Interventions for Asylum Seekers Project. The series is financed by the County Board of Kronoberg County and produced by ABF Kronoberg. The 7th episode is called Housing. The episode is about in what ways you can have a home in Sweden, how you take care of a home in Sweden, and what rules there are in consideration of others. In what ways can you live in Sweden? Most Swedes live either in a rental property, a condominium, or in a house. Rental. If you have never lived in a rented apartment before, there may be some things that are good to know about your obligations and rights and what your landlord can and cannot do. When you move into your apartment, it is important that you get a written rental contract, because you have the right to. Also, a copy of the inspection report that was made before you moved into the apartment. During an inspection, among other things, they check the walls and floors for any damage. Regarding moving in, you have the right to receive the keys to your new apartment on the 1st of the month after 12 o'clock. Should the 1st of the month occur on a Saturday, Sunday, or other holiday, you have the right to receive the keys on the following weekday. Here are some tips when moving. Don't forget to register a new address and to forward your mail. You can do that on the tax agency's website. You must also sign a new electricity supply contract. And don't forget to sign a home insurance. You must have home insurance to live in a rental property. Regarding the rent, remember to pay the rent on time. The rent is usually paid in advance the month before, and if you don't pay your rent, you risk being evicted. The condition of the apartment. Report to your landlord if you find any damage in the apartment that is not included in the inspection report. It is important so that you do not have to pay for any damages that someone else before you might have caused. The apartment must be clean when you move in, and it is your responsibility that it is clean when you move out. When it is clean, you call an order an inspection time. You may live or cohabit without asking your landlord, but you are always responsible for ensuring that the neighbors are not disturbed, both in the evening and during the day. When you live in a rental property, you have a responsibility to not disturb your neighbors. Disturbances can include loud music, a dog that barks a lot, or loud screams. In Sweden, we usually say that you should show a little extra consideration after 10 p.m. in the evening. But if you are going to have a party, feel free to talk to your neighbors beforehand, so they are a little prepared. If you want to change something in your apartment, such as repainting or wallpapering, then contact your landlord and you will find out what applies. Electrical installations, such as washing machines or dishwashers, may not be done by yourself. Contact your landlord. If you discover damage to your apartment, for example a water leak, you must immediately report this to your landlord. This also applies to any pests such as cockroaches, bed bugs, or perhaps ants. Maintenance of the apartment. Your landlord is obliged to maintain your apartments, such as painting and wallpapering, but you, as a tenant, are obliged to take care of the apartment. Should there be any damage, you will have to pay this when you move out. Condominium. To live in a condominium, you need to pay to become a member of a condominium association. Then it is still the condominium association that owns the home, but you have the right to live in the apartment, as long as you follow the rules. You need to sell the apartment to move from a condominium, and then you can either profit or lose money depending on the housing market. House. You can also buy a dwelling house or a terraced house. Then you own the house yourself and are responsible for repairing the home. If you want, you can build an addition to the house or maybe demolish something. But then you need to get a planning permission from the municipality first. Recycling. In Sweden, it is law that everyone must recycle to make sure that all trash is thrown away correctly. Ordinary household waste is sorted into glass, metal, plastic, paper, food, and residual waste. It should be thrown away at recycling stations. In some places, food needs to be thrown away in a specific bag. In Ljungby municipality, food waste is thrown away in a green bag, and in Älmhult, Markaryd and Lessebo municipalities, a paper bag is used instead. You can find what applies to you on your municipality's website. Larger waste, for example furniture or electronics, needs to be disposed of at a larger recycling center. Hazardous waste also needs to be disposed of at the recycling center. Cans and bottles with this symbol must be recycled. When you buy them, you pay 1 or 2 kronor extra in the store, and then you get that money back when you recycle the bottles. Most grocery stores usually have a designated recycling station. Comfort rules. If you live in an apartment building together with others, you have to be considerate. Therefore, there are rules you need to follow so that everyone can enjoy themselves. The rules can be different depending on where you live, but usually you are not allowed to disturb neighbors with loud noises at night or grill on the balcony. You should try to avoid disturbing neighbors as much as possible. If you share a laundry room, you must book a laundry time. Then you get a certain number of hours to do the laundry. It is important to only wash during your own wash time and be ready on time. You also need to make sure that you leave the laundry room clean and tidy for the next person. You have watched the series Vital Knowledge, an early intervention for asylum seekers project financed by the County Administrative Board of Kronoberg and produced by ABF Kronoberg.